Hey Facebook, Howard Jacobson here again, testing out a different kind of setup, DSLR camera, different software to broadcast on Facebook. And what I wanted to talk about this time, I did one this morning, I did a Facebook Live this morning about the 1% rule, and I'm just going to add a little bit to that. See, here I've got a bunch of domains. So we talked about, if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch it. Either now, if you're watching a recording, or go back. But basically, if we have a 1% improvement in some domain in our lives, that is a way to combat perfectionism and get something into our lives in a new way, as opposed to waiting for that time when we have the perfect 20 minutes to meditate, or the perfect 45 minutes to go for a jog, or whatever it is. We're instead of trying to make giant changes, we're making these 1% tiny little incremental improvements, and let them sink in, let them stick, let them become fundaments of our day, and then grow from there. So I mentioned at the end that some are going to be way more powerful than others, that there's a fractal 80-20, a fractal Pareto principle, where 20% of what we do leads to 80% of our outcomes. And so if we focus on that 20%, we'll do a lot more to influence the quality of our life than if we focus on the 80% of our actions that lead to 20% of our outcomes. But as I said, it's fractal. So it's not just 20%. We want to find the 20%. But within that 20%, we can find 20% again and 20% again until we get to, like, basically less than 1% can have about a 50% impact on the quality of our life. And so I want to give you a bunch of domains in which to explore this idea. So to pick one, doesn't matter which one, at the end of this video, pick one of these domains, come up with your 1% improvement, and go from there. So the domains are nature, menu, movement, stress, sleep, productivity, and relationships. I'm sure you can come up with a bunch of your own. These are the ones that just popped into my head. So nature. Are you getting nature in your life? Are you spending time outdoors? Are you spending time in natural sunlight, whether it's bright sunlight or cloud cover? Are you spending time under the stars? Are you in green? Are you able to hear bird songs? Are you able to smell pine resin and the smell of soil after the rain? Getting our nature fix. If you haven't listened to my interview with Florence Williams, who wrote the book, The Nature Fix, go to plantyourself.com and search for Nature Fix and you'll find it. Nature is huge in determining how healthy we are, how vibrant we are during the day, how balanced we are, how well our minds work in terms of creativity. Nature can provide us with natural stress-busting experiences. So what's one thing you could do, a tiny little thing you could do to get a little bit more nature into your life? Even if it's just a nature screensaver, even if it's just a potted plant. In your office, even if it's just a 2-minute walk. How can you get some more nature into your life? Next one, menu. This is the one we talk about a lot at Well Start, what you're eating. And we can think about both a 1% addition of good foods and a 1% subtraction of things that you don't want to be eating. Whether it's, are you getting enough water? Maybe your 1% is to grab a half a gallon of jar, fill it up with water in the morning, and make sure you've drunk it by the end of the day. Or maybe that's 10 or 20%. Maybe your 1% is just wake up in the morning and have 4 ounces of water that's next to your bed. Okay, movement. There's 3 different things I thought of here. One is obviously sort of what we think of, like exercise, like going and getting a workout. So if you can't do the 45 minutes, can you do wall push-ups? You know, it looks easy, but if you do it real slow, it can be challenging. A second is a type of movement is the type of movement you do versus sedentarism. versus our cultural imperative to sit at a desk minimum of 8 hours a day. When we sit, our butt turns to mush, our posture decreases, we stare at the screen that affects our vision. And just getting up and doing a 45-minute workout in the morning or the evening is not going to counteract the negative effects of sedentarism. So what can you do? A 1% solution, maybe 30 seconds every hour. Set a little timer, and at your desk, do some stretching. Do a walk break. Walk around the room, walk around your office, go downstairs and back up, take the stairs. But every hour, do something to counteract the sitting. All right. And the third one there is rehab. So if you have some sort of rehab exercise you know you're supposed to be doing, and you're not getting it in, what's the 1% that you can do right there? My battery is flashing, so I'm going to be real quick. Stress. How can you stress bust? How can you add a minute or two of breathing during the day? Sleep. What can you do? One thing you can do to make your bedroom more conducive to sleep. Or what's one thing you can do to improve your sleep routine? Productivity, in terms of managing your inputs, which is the actions that you take. This is part of my improving my productivity, to get more creativity, to get more output, to stand in front of a camera and have to think on my feet and create, so that later I can take that, turn it into articles, turn it into books, turn it into blog posts. And productivity could also be attention management. Can you do one thing to spend a little bit less time on a screen tomorrow? Relationships. So positive bids to friends, partners. Bids is an idea about what we are offering in terms of support, curiosity, connection. Can we practice a pause if we feel ourselves getting angry? Can we practice a 1%, a 2-second pause before speaking? Or how much time we're devoting? Even an extra 5 minutes sitting down at dinner, washing the dishes together. And so those are my domains. I'm going to quit before the camera does. So let me know what you think. And if you have questions or you have ideas for future Facebook Lives, please hit me up with them. Great talking to you. Have a great day.